Hi, Adam.
Hey guys, you right?
Yes,
Good,
good.
good.
We're really excited about your workshop in September.
Is the buzz building?
It is definitely building. And the name. Okay.
It's the name.
Everybody says, what's Bellend Day?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a brilliant question, and if I can start to set the tone just by sharing with you, we had a lady call us in the office years ago who said, "I've been recommended to come on your Bellend course, but I don't have one."
Yeah.
To which we responded, "It doesn't mean you're not one."
Yeah.
And she ended up booking on and then working with us for a couple of years and stuff. So it's one of my favorite phrases for people that are just being a bit daft. And I say that looking at myself a lot of the time. We get so busy in life, don't we? We get so busy doing things that we don't even realize we're being a bellend, and sometimes until it's too late.
Yeah.
So
how would you describe being a bellend in business? What type of things would a bellend be doing?
all right, so classic. Why do people set up a business in the first place? Normally because we've been made redundant X amount of times. We want to control our own destiny. We want to build our future, whatever. A lot of the time it's because we can't work for that tyrant of a boss anymore. We can't work for that knobhead. And then we go self-employed and we end up working for a total and utter lunatic ourselves. We never take holidays. We take our laptop away if we do go away. We email people at 3 o'clock in the morning because we're up, because we're self. So all the stuff that we would never do in an employed world, we just go into this crazy, never-ending, never-stopping lifestyle. And that is an example of being a bellend, because you set up your business to live by your own rules, right? And if your rules are then working 24/7, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Until we learn or figure out better ways of working, we just do that. And it's so common, it's unbelievable. And none of us get into business to kill ourselves, right?
No.
But it affects us mentally, it affects us emotionally, it affects us physically and stuff. And it's like all of that is leading towards being a bellend. So if we're avoiding stuff, if we're procrastinating too much, or if we're working ourselves to the bone, it's not necessary. So this hustle mentality, I kind of fight against it, because I think it's putting the wrong message out there. So let's build a business that's profitable, that can work without us being there, but it doesn't kill us in the process.
Yeah. And I think we've both realized this recently. I think we're so focused sometimes on the day in, day out stuff in your business, like the front of house stuff. Yeah. Actually, it's looking at the back end of business and what could make your life so much easier with some simple tweaks.
Yeah.
But you just, A, forget about it, and B, don't give yourself the time. So actually coming to a day where you have no choice. You can't work that day. You have to listen to the lovely Adam.
There will be breaks throughout the day, but it's like, I promise, sometimes people bring their laptops and they're like, "No, I like to write and stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm glad you like to type, but psychologically we haven't connected to typing and swiping like we have to the pen."
Yeah.
So it is literally a pen and paper kind of day. And it's like, bring felt tip pens, bring as many different colors as you can, so we can properly use the brain to take the information in differently. And I'm going to encourage people to a bit of coloring in. Yeah, there's always a bit of coloring. We do an entire section on marketing. That's coloring, isn't it? Any marketers watching will be cursing me. But it's like shove the tech to the side for a minute, shove it all on do not disturb, right? But unless you've got a skull cap in someone's brain and you've got 3 minutes to put it back together because they're going to turn the machine off, none of what we do in business is that serious.
No.
But we take it that seriously. So we feel we can't come. It's like, no, come away for it. And then give yourself time to, like, exactly like you said, Caroline, the space, right? To think and reflect. And if you and Becky, if you're going through this at the moment, you're probably seeing the benefit of it. Just putting some simple things in place, give you time back to breathe. And then you can do things better.
Yeah. Well, it's like you say as well, remembering why you set up your business, because actually some people, and I've had these conversations even with my 16-year-old son, he's talking about becoming a mechanic and setting up a garage. And I'm like, what you don't want to do is work harder for yourself with less money than you would for someone else. You've got to do it in a really sensible, well thought out way, so that you're not working a job in your own business.
Yeah, 100%. But it takes time and experience to get there. So if anyone's telling you it's an overnight success thing, they're lying. They're scam artists, right? It's blood, sweat, tears, and making loads of mistakes and owning those mistakes and growing through it to get better at it. That's where the whole working smarter, not harder comes from. But nobody talks about the toil and all the hard work and the mistakes and the tears and all the stuff go in there. But running a business can be really, really lonely, even if you've got a team.
Yeah.
Because people think, oh, once I've got a team, it'll be great because I'll have that banter and all that sort of stuff, and I'll have that thing. It's like, yeah, but if you lose a contract and you're not sure whether you can pay them and you've now got livelihoods to worry about, it's like you can't go in the staff room and go, don't think we're going to be able to pay you this month, guys. And then if you're going home to the partner and that's all you're talking about at home, it starts affecting your relationship and stuff like that. That's why a large part of what we do is that sounding board and accountability, because we get business, we get people, and we kind of bring the two together to make sure that people are moving forward. It's progress, not perfection, that we're looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I've got a question for you, Adam.
Yeah.
Both of us have got Goldney House business and we've got our own businesses. Is it suitable for somebody who's got more than one business, or will you be recommending focusing just on one business during the day?
So 100% it is suitable for more than one. So I run more than one business. And the reason I run more than one business is I've kind of blueprinted how I want to operate in business.
Yeah.
And that means then by then I blueprint my businesses so that I can do that. So if you've got more than one business, and if anyone's come into the day and they have more than one business, brilliant. What we're going to teach you in that day and what we're going to go through in that day and what you'll leave from that day with is a bit of a blueprint around finance, marketing, sales, systemization and processing of your business, and you, the business owner, keeping your head in the game, right?
Yeah.
Those key elements, you'll walk away from that day going, okay, cool. So how can I apply this now in other businesses? Let me start applying it in this one, and let me then move and migrate to the others. If you come into the room trying to do it for all of them at the same time, your head will fall off.
Yeah.
Probably by lunchtime. So it's like, accept it as one, and then go away and work on it, because we're giving you the tools to go away. That's the whole point. Is like we're giving you the tools to go away and do it on your own, and you can if you're that kind of person. But if you want accountability and support, we can offer that as well.
Brilliant.
Great question.
What I love is it's so intertwined as well with us being a wellness centre. It's kind of Bellend is a unique way of giving yourself wellness, isn't it? So you're actually giving wellness to yourself and taking time for yourself and trying to be constructive about, the way that you treat yourself as well.
Yeah, in fact, absolutely. It's like we are the old phrase of we can't pour from an empty cup, right? But it's like business. I've been on a coaching call this morning, and we spoke probably about 10 minutes of that business, of the business. Everything else was to do with where they're at, their personal feelings, their exhaustion, all that sort of stuff. And we were talking about just small tweaks, changing one thing in terms of habits to get them some time back, getting them some energy back to top themselves up to be able to go again. And we do that 2 or 3 times a week. Suddenly the week feels less stressful and less, but we put ourselves last all the time as human beings. Even more so when we start running our own business back. So when we start looking at like the quarterly planning stuff we do with our clients, one of the things we do in that day is highlights and lowlights, and everybody gets a chance to share their highlights and lowlights. And it doesn't matter how many people turn up, and I don't care if it takes 2 hours. It's so important for other people to hear and feel that they're not alone. It's not just them feeling this, and it's like celebrating successes, and then people going, how did you do that then? And then other people going, I'm on my ass this month because this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. And other people are going, yeah, I felt that. And then it's that connection and commonality. It's really powerful, important stuff for our well-being. So massive.
And also we can be, so steered by what's going on in our surroundings. Everybody's talking about the cost of living crisis. Well, our brains automatically then go to, well, people can't afford to buy from me at the moment. Whereas actually, there are people that are having their best month ever despite the cost of living crisis. So actually being surrounded by people who have a different mentality to you can show you a different perspective on life. That's really valuable as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 100%. I turned the news off years ago, so I don't tune into the news. I'm not involved in that part of life at all. And I get my live updates from life. So if I go to MacArthur Glen, which is like a shopping outlet place just up the road from me, 20 minutes away, and it's busy Monday to Sunday, whatever time of the day you go, right the way through to 8-9 o'clock in the evening, I'm looking and going, cost of living crisis?
Yeah.
Really? The shops are rammed, right? With people spending what money that they apparently don't have, according to everybody else, right? But it's like, bring that back into business. We were talking about this in the workshop we did last week. Most small businesses, and I talk small right the way up to sort of 500 employees, right? But most small businesses, small to medium enterprises, you're operating 30, 40, 50 mile away from where you live. And if you go into like the solo and really micro businesses, you're absolutely dealing with people 30 foot. You don't need to go far afield. And it's like, if you look at accountants remember Yellow Pages? If you look at accountants, if you looked at your local Yellow Pages, if you still have one, right? And you looked at how many of your accountants are in your town, the average accountant needs about 120 businesses to survive, to be a profitable business. So if there's 10 accountants in your town, that's how many businesses there are. And if you support people from a wellness point of view, they're in business as well as life. It's like, look at the population of the town and the surrounding 30, 40, 50 miles. It's like, there is a plethora of people. They're not maybe tuning into us. We're not necessarily tuning into them. That's where marketing comes in and getting better at that stuff. But it's like, the opportunity is huge, you know, and I come out of life with an abundant mindset, not a scarcity one, although I grew up in a scarcity world. You know, my parents grew up with a ration book in play. Food was scarce. We were going to run out of field. The farming field won't be around when it's like, it's not happened. I throw food away every day that's perishing.
Yeah, absolutely. So being logical, what can people expect from the day? You know, what time does it start? What time does it finish? What goes on in between?
What food's involved? That's the most important question, right? What food's
involved? So it's a brilliant question, because you could do the best training in the world, but if the parking's terrible, the venue's terrible, and the food's crap, no one's going to like it. We kick off at 9:30 sharp. We finish at 4:30. All right. So when we finish at 4:30, if people need to disappear, that's the official time. If they want to hang around and chat and talk stuff through, then there's going to be that little bit of decompression space at the end of the day. But what they can expect, and I'm going to say this honestly and openly, what they can expect is overwhelm.
Yeah.
And they will feel overwhelmed at different stages throughout the day, but they got to hold the vision and trust the process, that we bring that together. But some people get overwhelmed by 10:30. Other people, majority, will get their first level of overwhelm by just before lunch, which is great because we break for lunch then.
Yeah.
And lunch is normally like a banquet of meats and cheeses and salads and stuff. We always get like tiger loaf, because nobody eats bread, but everybody eats tiger loaf apparently.
Cool.
So it's that kind of finger buffet stuff, though. There's something for everybody. All dietary requirements are covered, and it will be that kind of family feel of we'll all get stuck in. So when we break for lunch, we're going to have sort of half an hour before we get back in it. So let's all get our hands washed. Let's get stuck in. Let's get it spread out. Let's eat together. Let's break some bread together, and let's have a bit of a reset, and we go back into the afternoon. But from a perspective of, we're going to cover finance and business ownership, we're going to cover marketing and sales, and we're going to cover planning, which is where we bring it all together at the end of the day. It's like, how do you eat an elephant? Not in one sitting. So when this overwhelm builds up for people at different times throughout the day, when we get to the sort of 4 o'clock point and we're starting to work on the plan, what we're then doing is, let's just break this down into elements and give yourself the ability to work and plan more effectively going forward. So you'll leave with all of that stuff.
Perfect. That sounds great. So what type of person? You said small business owners, medium business, who's going to book? What type of person?
Yeah, okay, it's a great question. So if somebody's sitting here listening to this and they've got an idea and a concept and they're working elsewhere and they want to know whether, book on, because by the end of the day, you'll know absolutely in your heart whether you're ready for this or not, because business isn't easy. It takes effort. Right? So let's sort of go to the other end of the spectrum. We had a client who ran a restaurant for 22 years, came into Bellend Day, or as we used to call it back then, Foundation Day, came into Bellend Day and literally went, well, I've been doing it all wrong. And so, no, you haven't. You've been doing it without investing into yourself. You've literally been winging it and finding ways, but you've run a successful business for 22 years. That's not wrong. Do you know what I mean? You've been surviving and you've been thriving for 22 years. What you're saying is you've now learned some stuff to do this better. So what do you want to do? He's like, not the restaurant anymore.
Wow.
So the first time ever he admitted in public that he didn't want to do this restaurant anymore. I was like, so what do you want to do then? He's like, what do you mean? So, well, surely you want to continue to earn a living, or are you going to retire? He said, oh, no, I want to earn a living. I just don't want to do hospitality and restaurant. So what do you want to do? He's like, well, if I could do anything. I was like, yeah. He's like, I'd like to help people have better health insurance and stuff like that, because I suffered that a few years back. And as a self-employed, I didn't have things in place and it really scuppered me. So I'd like to make sure people in this space are better geared up to look after themselves from a health insurance and policies. And I said, cool. So what's stopping you doing that? Oh, I'd have to start again. But with 22 years experience behind you,
yeah,
and now some tools and education to make it better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Breakthroughs possibly as well.
Yeah, massive breakthroughs. And the one thing that I'm so proud of out of this day is the honesty that will come out from people in the room. So what we are good at is creating a safe space. So you know me well, guys, right? I swear like a fishwife. I say please and thank you like a saint. So I'm complex, right? So it is a very raw, honest. None of this is textbook stuff. This is, as a business owner running multiple businesses, sharing with people, right? You can run businesses, you can build revenue. You can't just continue winging it. Building some stuff underneath it gives you the time back. And then if you want to bring people on board to do this with you and to run this business with you, that's really a business owner. Everything else is self-employed. But if we know consciously what our choices are, then cool.
Yeah.
If we want to build a self-employed income business, great, a lifestyle bit. If we want to build a business that we have teams and systems working with us, brilliant. We just need to know the difference between the two.
Yeah. I mean, I did think my business was a hobby for a long time.
Well, this is it. It does.
Yeah.
It feel like that, don't you?
Yeah. And it's like, do you have friends and family that say things like, when are you going to get a proper job?
Oh yeah. Or friends and family that think you can just take any day off that you want because you know,
I didn't get it.
Well, take the summer holidays off.
Okay. You're your own boss. Surely you can do that. So where's the revenue going to come from then if I'm not? So, but then that's an interesting point because we talk about this on the day as well. And this can be a massive reframe for people. Is one of the things I talk about is how do we gear our businesses up for shoppers, not for customers, not shoppers.
Yeah.
And it's understanding the difference between the two, right? It's like if we're putting loads of time and effort into our marketing for somebody to buy once and then they never buy again, that's a lot of effort for one revenue, right? One piece of revenue. But if we build our business model into customer model, they can come back and buy again. So even if they don't buy that product because it's a one-off, is there a maintenance agreement or a support package or whatever? So there's always a repeat business model opportunity, but we may not be seeing it. So we're working really hard at a shopper model. We just need to develop a customer model. So there's loads of stuff that we're going to kind of blow people's minds with, but bring it back to simple steps at the end of the day.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm already excited.
I'm excited. Now the food's been mentioned as well. We're on.
So it's £99, is that right?
Yes.
I mean, that doesn't seem like much for a whole day of training. All of that.
Whole day with you. Wow.
And thank you. That's a lovely compliment. But my purpose is to get people thinking and acting differently. That's my purpose in life, right? So I've been following this path for a long time, and it's a pleasure to make money doing what I love. Yes, it's been graft and it's hard work, and at times I've probably sacrificed time with my kids and family to do it. But I've done everything that everyone has ever done in business, right and wrong. And some ventures I've tried have failed. Do you know what I mean? They've not all been successes and stuff. But one of the things that was consistent is when I was starting out or when I was trying to grow, everything was so expensive. And I said, I want Sales Academy to be affordable from the start. And what I mean by that is as teams grow, so we've got an escalate. We don't do contracts, right? So if people want to sign up for the support with us, the support starts at 99 quid a month as well. But that goes right the way up to 1,500 quid a month. But the most I would charge a small business on a solo business owner is £400 a month, because I don't think it's right to charge them anymore. And that's for half a day. And there's so much stuff that they're going to be doing. I don't think they've got the time and the headspace, let alone the finances for more than that.
Yeah.
But our team programs, they start at 400 and go to 1,500.
Yeah.
So we've kind of geared it up so that you can grow with us. So if you start at £99 with us and then 2 years later, you've got a team and you're on an £800 a month, great, you've grown with us. And that's brilliant. That's what we're looking for, is people to continue to grow. Whether you need us or not in the future is your choice, right? And that's based on the relationship and support. So days like this, to put it at this price point, it means that people can afford it and they get to feel it and go, okay, does this work? Do I need this? And can I afford it going forward? There's 3 simple questions that I had, and I'd go to so much training and they'd be like, come the end, you still don't know the price. And you'd be like on a seminar and they'd be like blowing your mind. And then partway through I'd be going, yeah, but how much is it? How much is it? And as soon as I start thinking that, I'm not listening, I'm not learning, I'm just, and then they do that whole Americanized, right? So it's normally $49,000, but if you're the first person to do 17 backflips to the back of the room, you can have it for like $39 today. And I despise everything about that. So it's like, it's 99 quid because that's our starting package price. And I think we've put an early bird on as well, haven't we? So there's 10 tickets available at 50% off. So we're giving it away at £49. but you're going to get me 100% no matter what, because I get the opportunity to live out my purpose, supporting business owners to become better faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I love is, like, when you are starting out in business, it's the chicken and the egg, isn't it? It's, can I afford to spend money on these things? So at least if it's at that price, you know you can. It's like a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Becky, on that point, because I know we're going to wrap things up now, but on that point alone, right? When I talk to people about systemization of their business, let's just say you start earning a repeat customer and you get an extra 50 quid in, and you're looking at your money out, money in, and there's an extra £50 in. If you've got some free softwares, like you've got free accounting software, free CRM, a free social media tool, a free this, and there's so many great options out there for the free to get you going, but they have limitations. So if one business turns around and says, actually, I want to go to the paid accountancy software because I can do X, Y, and Z, you've got money in that 50 quid to upgrade.
Yeah.
But if somebody else might be going, actually, I need a better CRM. Right, there's 50. It's like, so we need to be reinvesting some of the money that we're earning into the investment and the growth of the business as well. But we can start free. There's so many free tools. There's never been a better time to be alive or to be running a business right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's some of the energy that I want to get across as well to the guys. Like, the only thing stopping us is ourselves. End of.
Yeah, you versus you.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
right.
Thank you for the questions, guys. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to sharing the whole day with you and some of our mutual friends and colleagues and people that we get in the room.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you.
All right.
Adam, yeah, lovely.
Thanks, guys. You too. See you later.